so that when winter hits, you know what I could have done is I could have made it a lot faster by putting around the geothermals. But anyway, I'm going to put a little heater in here. I'm going to try to keep them warm and roofed and everything over here and keep like indoor storage and stuff. And then that way I have time to build up this map, because typically speaking, to design a map for me takes me about 10 hours to like do this kind of thing, to make the layout and stuff. Which I'm not going to do on stream, obviously. I'll do a little bit. Where is this blight? Okay. You know what we could do is we could set that on fire. We're not going to. Let's say... Let's turn off the power to the pod. That will get that done. Then we'll get rid of the grow lights. That's not going to get rid of the blight, but... Let's turn off the power to this room. Let's... I can't stop this from being refueled at the moment. But I kind of can. Well, I could get it deconstructed. What I can do is I could leave this open. Let the animals clear it out. It's not going to clear it out fully, but it's going to get rid of some of it. It's going to solve some of our problem. There we go. There's the first cow going in. Alright. Yeah, they're gonna eat maybe some of that. Like, I'm not expecting them to eat the blight plants. I've never actually seen them do that, but I do have starving animals. So, if they're hungry, I'm curious about this cow because it says it's going off to eat. We'll see. What else? There's a Hugs Viking. Hugs back. No. And 30k wood. I don't see that much. I'm a TJK streamer. Yeah, I know you are. Yeah, no, I have been unable to collect wood on this specific map. Oh no, they are eating it. Good. I've been able to collect wood because all my inner areas are grow areas for food production, because I have this huge area over here where we are missing like land that I can grow on and stuff. Realistically, I should have built my buildings out on the sand. I think there's like a weight limit to that. I don't know. I can't remember. There's a reason why I didn't. I know that. But, yeah, because of the growing stuff, I can only get trees on these, like, outer areas. And I have thrombos out here. And they eat trees. So, when I want to cut down trees, I send my people out to cut down trees, but they don't want to leave this grow area because there's so much to do in here, right? So... because we had a cold snap, I couldn't grow anything, which meant that all these outside areas were turned off, which meant that I finally had, you know, 30, 50 fucking harvesters out collecting wood, going and, like, doing wood collection shit for once, cutting and stuff. And then we got a bit of wood, but I also got a lot of this wood by sending out attack caravans and mining caravans. So, you know, when you get the mining destinations? So I'd go there and I'd take like a bunch of plant cutters, and I'd take like, you know, 3,000 odd carry weight in like mufflos or horses or whatever. And I would just send additional horses or mufflos in like an additional like empty caravan to come and collect the whole map tiles wood. And then I'd just go to the next place. Like I'd send that like wood caravan home, and I'd go to the next place, do the same thing, send that home, and like just keep sending animals back out to collect it. And eventually we got like 35 odd thousand wood, which is great because like I mostly use wood for free trading. Like I can buy anything from like some of my traders that want to trade with wood. And I also needed it for, I started making biofuel as well. So I need that for that. But also, like I needed it for, apart from like the chem fuel production, I also have a good number of fueled stoves in here as well, which, you know, soak it up. Plus we're about to hit winter, which means all of my fireplaces around the place are about to become active, if not are active, on top of the heaters and shit. So yeah, we go through a lot of wood, and we will go through a lot of wood with these things running. I'm pretty sure I've got them capped. Yeah, I've got that capped to like 2,000. So yeah, I think we calculated out how much wood the 30,000 will go into, and on top of what we already had. So yeah, we'll make some chem fuel. I'm gonna need some because like we got the 6 pods down here, we got the 6 there, we've got the 4 there, and then we've got however fucking many's around this thing. So like they're all pretty much loaded up to go. It's just that I don't want to flick it yet until I've got everybody, I think, until I got all my stuff. I think I could probably send a lot of the steel ones, but the food is the concern. I don't have to send that until I'm ready with the food. But once these guys got themselves a shelter, I know you're sleeping, but I think your first priority will be building the fence and the column and shit. I need this to be enclosed. I just need somewhere where they can store stuff and sleep and also be warm. That reminds me, I've got to make a little campfire in here for them. Let's put that there because I'll make them cozy. So at the moment it's like 3 degrees for them. Out here we've got like 13 degrees. It's colder where they are. We went more north. Temperature-wise, we're looking kind of good. Also, the game is running so much smoother after a few hours, which is great. It means that all the fucking birds have updated, finally. I have like a few hundred birds. They're a problem, you know, having like a lot of stuff to update. Alright, this place is cold as hell. I can kind of like hang out here for a moment, because what I want to do is... So, I'm pretty sure... Yeah, I thought so. So what they seem to do with the new map, I noticed, was they have this like bigger indent, which I thought was interesting because I counted it out. It's the exact same distance I have on my map for building. Where's my thing to build? There. See? So I thought it was really interesting because I build this exact amount in like up against the wall, and I just thought it was really interesting. I don't know if you can build beyond that. No. But yeah, I saw that. I'm like, what the hell? That was something I noticed previously. I just thought was kind of interesting. Let me get rid of that. But let's get my... I will put things like this in. So we'll have our outside area. This shows me visually on a glance where the build limit is, right? And then from there, I'm going to have to also take it into the center. I'm not 100% sure where the center will be, but I think it's up around here somewhere. So measuring from that, we've got 110. And I take it all the way up to 110. There we go. All right. So... Just got to bring it in all the way into the center because this is where I'm going to be building eventually. So assuming that's center. Center to those 2 walls. I'll go center to the top of the map in a moment. What we got? To 110 again. There we go. Alright. I can't see. There we go. I do this on all of my maps to kind of help grid out where I want to build. So this will then be centered to that. Okay, cool. So this is center sideways and this is centered downwards. Sweet. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it will make sense. Trust me. Let's get rid of this. The only good thing I like is that you can kind of like wipe out all of these all the way out of here. And it will just remove everything. That is nice. Pretty sure it's always been able to do that, but I like the fact that I can like drag it across the whole thing. Alright, let's get you to up. This one's square. I kind of, when I made this run, I sort of wish I had have got it as the uneven centered square where you get a 1-line central square, because I'll work with a 3 instead of a 2. And I can do more patterns and shit with that. Okay, so that's dead ass center. Nice. So my only thing is, I actually want to do a fence on this outside, and I will do a fence. I'll get them to start building that in a moment, but I want to bring it up by, I think it's 6. Pretty sure. So 4, 5, 6. I'll go 6 of this. Alright. Then runs back to Prillick side, lays down Viking to happily snuggling both wolf blushes. No. What happened, Viking? You done being hugged by Shadow. I always love how, like, my wolves are hugged. They're just like, my wolves hug each other. It's wonderful. Welcome back, Drow. I'm starting to kind of get a layout going. There we go. Alright. So that's probably because I want to do something a little bit different with this. In the sense of here, I have the outside is the turrets. And then we had an inner fence line kind of thing, right? Hold on. Inner fence line is like here. I'm reversing that this time. And I'm putting the external fence line on the outside and then turreting on the inside. But I also need to allow... I need to allow another fucking 6 in from it to avoid getting blown up by the turrets when they go off. So, maybe 6 of 6. We're not going to have as much build space on the inside, but we're going to have a lot more land space, which will be really nice. So 6 of 6. And then it's like here. All my animals are going to be miscarriaging, by the way, because of the starvation of the cold snap. Okie dokie. This makes perfect sense to me. It makes no sense to anybody else. I'll also turn this thing here into like a heart shape too. So we'll have another cube mark. We haven't had one since the first location, since Salvation, where we had the little heart up near the top paddock. So we'll have one of those again, which will be kind of nice. I think we had like a moon on... Yeah, we had a moon on Quillen. What was that? Jailbreaker. Pigeon, mate? I don't fucking think so. Hold on. Are you going to go jailbreak? Hold on. I haven't saved for a bit. So I don't think I've got any shock lancers, but I do have this whole group here. And as long as nobody gets out their gun, do you guys want to just go beat up Pigeon? Just stop him from letting Lumi out, because Lumi's... Actually, I haven't checked on Lumi for a while. How are you going, Lumi? Oh, she's recruitable. Yeah, she's recruitable. Well, Pigeon's solved. I gotta check on what's wrong with Pigeon anyway. Because, can I get Dally, mate? Can you take him to hospital since you're a doctor? Pigeon, what is your deal? I haven't had somebody, like, wig out for a little while, so it's kind of interesting. What about turnips? Let's see. Nervous. You are recreation starved, ravenously hungry, serious pain. That's, mate, what do you do? Cooking animals. Okay, there's a pretty high chance that he's probably just sat in here cooking non-stop. I'd probably take a guess at that. Hold on, I need to cough properly. There we go. It's just like, I'll have a drink of water. Hold on. I just kind of like kept getting like a sensation in my throat to kind of cough. I'm like, it's annoying me. Yeah, all my animals gonna be doing that. Did they clear out the blight? Almost. And my blight is spreading. So, I guess what we can do is let's turn off... I don't want to grab every single grow area. Let's turn off all the outdoor areas again. And let's get you guys going inside and working on the blight room. Let's get rid of those and that. That one's fine. That one's already pre-planted. So, now I should have people able to come in here and do this. And I know that if I turn that to cold, like if I turn off the fire it would be a bit better. Hold on, Azula was just stretching out. Azula's my cat, for anybody that doesn't know. She just kind of like got too hot in a donut and was stretching out nearby. Alright, I kind of want you guys to go plant cut everything. Like, Jane's already in here, which is great. Unless you're sewing stuff. You're sewing stuff. Alright, let's stop you from doing that. Now, you will be useful in that way, but I kind of need you to come in here and probably cut a whole row out the bottom here. I'm pretty sure I'll have people come back in. Yeah, you're coming in to sew. I don't think so, mate. We don't really need you to come in here and sew stuff. I just gotta have it allocated so that you guys can do what I'm going to do. So, it's gonna be a bit of like telling them to do it manually because I know with Blight they just won't do it. It's one of those weird little things that they just won't actually stop and do. Ram, are you able to do... Maybe. Hold on. He's coming in to sew shit, so you can help me get rid of stuff. I know Jane was working on that, that's fine. Oh no, do you have so many pawns? Bookman's, is it sort of tacular? I might have said that wrong, but it's because I steal everybody, and I've been playing this particular save for 2.5 years. IRL. Swat-tacular. I read it as that. My brain just completely crapped on it when I tried to say it. And thank you for help with that. Tacular. Yeah, no, I'll give it the best crack I can whenever I, like, say it. 50% of people get it wrong, so no biggie. Yeah, I know. It's just, like, I naturally, like, butcher almost everybody's name all the time anyway. But, like, I try not to, or at least try to, like, improve and, like, sort it out and stuff. Because, like, I don't know, I had, like, what did we had? We were kind of, like, part of an experiment in primary school for creative teaching. So I didn't exactly learn, like, my native English correctly to begin with. So it definitely doesn't help me for, like, sorting out names and shit. But yeah, to answer your question, I stole everybody. I've been stealing a lot of people for a long time. This colony started with 21 people. A lot of people that I had in previous colonies, I used EdB Prepare Carefully to bring into this map, and kind of like try again. I kind of thought that they'd just kill each other, but they didn't do that. We kind of all got along, which was great. So yeah, I ended up kind of like just going ahead with it. That one's reserved, hold on. I kind of was like, okay, well, they're not going to kill each other, so let's head towards the landed ship quest. And we've been on our way there. This is our 3rd location. We've just landed at our 4th location tonight. And it's going to take a while. Like, probably another couple of years, but we'll get there. And yeah. I don't know. At some point, I was just curious how many people I could take, because I immediately had, like, nearly 100 people really ASAP. And I've had a few over 100 colonies before. So yeah, I was curious, could I have 200, then could I have 250? Now we're up to like 280, the 283 and 1 prisoner. Hold on. Yeah, we're up to 283 and 1 prisoner. So at this point I was just like curious. But yeah, I had to we had to postpone moving for a month. While the game updated its version and while its mods and stuff updated. I didn't have many mods. Yeah, I have 1.6. This is 1.6. The only problem is this tile that we're on is on 1.5. So the effects of 1.6, like the animals will fly and shit like that. But, like, anything else to do with, like, performance and shit like that isn't going to change on this tile until we move the whole colony over to this tile. So we're in the process of moving. It's just that, like, I've got a caravan on the way. I've got transport pods loaded up. I'm just trying to get them, like, a really basic little shelter in here so that they can kind of survive, because this is basically what happened last time. This is when we were on 1.3, and then I updated to 1.5 because I didn't have it set to like auto update, and the mods didn't update in time with it, and we lost a shit ton of colony wealth, and I didn't know that, and the tile glitched out and we had to move ASAP. It was an emergency move, and we abandoned a lot of resources, but we also lost a lot of resources. And then when we moved, we basically like struggled. Like the colony had probably 3 immediate major starvation events where it tried to like wipe us out. Like either we had no food, or we had like a cold snap and somebody kicked a generator, so we didn't have power, so then we didn't have grow rooms. People started like fighting, going berserk, and trying to let out the 20 odd prisoners that we moved in with, and there was just like a lot of shit going on for a long time. It took like probably 4 months for them to settle down, and then we could start actually like improving again. But because I knew that happened last time, I had to wait to make sure that like everything updated properly and was good, so that we didn't have that kind of like a crippling event happen again. And yeah, I had so many glitches when we moved out of there. Like I didn't know that they were unpacking the caravans as they were packing the caravans, and so we left without food. That was a problem. We abandoned thousands of steel. Like we had fully packed down our first colony, like built it up, packed it down, moved, and then I'd culled a whole bunch of my animals because we planned to stay there. It was a permanent summer and we were going to stay there for ages. Mate, why don't you just cut down this? Why can't you? Not assigned to plant cutting. Ah, yes, Cypress does the plant cutting. That's fine. I'll have to send somebody over. Hold on. But yeah. Oh, cool. They got rid of the blight. Sweet. Okay, well, I don't need these doors open. Which one is open? Neither is open. How did they get in? Somebody must have left some rice in the door. That's fine. They'll sort it out. There's one blight there. Cut all blight, please. Lol. But, yeah, I don't know. We've had like a month of delay for moving, and also I haven't been able to like stream it for a month. So yeah, we're just in the process of like sort of sorting all that out. We had all my traders rock up earlier, and then 3 of them fought each other. That was great. I've got one prisoner that's almost ready to come out. I should have... I don't want to send more survival meals. If you could build more of those. And yeah, we're all on 150. Cool. Yeah, no, I've got like a heap of shit to like throw straight out at my new location. I also am off to do an attack quest. I might steal people, we'll see. This group down here is our caravan that's going on its way. It's going to take a while. It's got some food, it's got some steel and components, it's got some building blocks, some medicine, some benches, medical stuff, wood, all the good shit. Deep drills to get more resources and crap. Now, what I do need is I need to find 800 survival meals. Oh, we got like about 2,000 odd. Just most of them are currently in the transport pods. Same with pemmican. We got about 5,000 or 6,000 of that in here somewhere. Like this one's got like 1,000 of it. I don't know how the tile has enough space to make that much food. It's more of like we've been doing it for a long time. Like here's the other thing too, is like these are all the grow areas, all the lit up areas. They're all grow areas in here. We just had a cold snap, so we lost all of our plants. Now my meat production, this is it. So I get eggs. The eggs feed mostly my cats and panthers and keep them out of the coolers. So that's what I keep like the chickens and ducks for. The bigger animals, obviously, they're all set on to auto-cull. When they eventually hit adulthood, they get auto-culled and we get a bit of meat. And I do hunt animals that come in, but we have like so few animals that come in. Plus my panthers do hunt them too. So I have like a fuck ton of panthers for the purpose of hauling. But yeah, we lost a lot of animals. Yeah, auto butcher. So we had like 750 animals. Nah, it's core game. What you do is you go in here, and for instance, they can have any number of that, but they can only have a maximum of 10 adult cows, and they can have an adult maximum of 35 females and stuff like that. This is all, like, if I was to grab this alpaca, for instance, right, and say, I don't want alpacas in my base, like, I've already got that set to 0, so it'll auto-cull if one, like, self-tames. For instance, you just put, like, this is for anything that just comes in, like, you buy it, you bought it, don't want it, you put it on a 0 automatically. But if you want to keep, like, a certain number, like, for instance, I keep a high amount of females versus males, because the females will produce so many offspring, and you only need so many males to obviously produce those offspring. And then once all those offspring hit adulthood, like at the moment there's 39 like young male cows, but I've already got 10 maxed out. So when all those 39 hit adulthood, they'll all get auto slaughtered, and that's just 39 cows of meat immediately. So that'd be great. But yeah, we had like 750 animals, and we had to cull it one of the winters. We had to take it down to like 200, 250 to keep everyone alive. And it's been crippling trying to grow back the amount of meat that we need. We've also continuously lose our like panthers in battle as well. Hold on, let me get past the chickens. Like every person and animal is riding a hoverboard around. Yeah, it'd be like that. The almost sent, yeah. That's my worst readout yet. I'm sorry. If you want to help me pronounce that, go for it. I don't mean to butcher people's names. I'm just bad at it. But yeah, we're trying to also rebreed the panthers. That's not helping. We're getting there. The dromedaries are slow breeders. The cows ballooned out of proportion. The sheep ballooned out of proportion. The muffaloes are doing good. Thrombos are back in supply. We're breeding guinea pigs for their fur. The yaks produce milk. The horses, most of my horses are out in a caravan at the moment. And I have cats for nuzzling. That's, I think they can also be trained as well. But yeah. Omencito. Okay. I probably still kind of like mildly butchered it, but Omencito. Cool. I will try to remember that. If I, like, crap on it later, like, accidentally butcher the pronunciation, please don't get too mad. I'm just really bad with names. But yeah, welcome in. Yeah, they all kind of like just kind of glide around and stuff. The birds now can fly and shit too. That was part of what was kind of junking up the start of my game tonight, was like there's been a few changes. For instance, the water. The water now has like this rippling effect, right? Obviously it flows better when you have like less colonists and shit, but yeah. It now flows, so now I have like a huge amount of things moving over here at all times. Plus I have plant sway on, so my plants are slowly swaying around. You can kind of see that a little bit. It doesn't help that like we've got a bit of crunch going on this like 1.5 tile, but they move. And then people move, I've got hundreds of animals moving, and yeah. I need to get you guys out of here. We should have got all the blight now. I also don't know how my animals keep getting in here. Not this side, at least. Somebody had to have left some rice in the door. But yeah, this one's good to go. If they could get the yak out of it, it'd be great. We'll replant this, and we'll get the hydroponic and all the lights. It looks like they didn't turn all the lights off. That might have been part of what the problem was. There we go. All right, lights all back on. The hydroponic's back on. We will get non-blight growing back in there. That'd be great. Yeah, like there's one of my cats snacking on an egg just out of the blue. Like having so many meat eaters does eat up a lot of my supplies. Have you guys got a roof on this yet? Chimpanzee mate, can I get a roof properly on here? Hold on, I want the corners. I think that should be maybe these corners there. And I guess this wall here, once you can get it done. Yeah, throw a roof on that, because Cypress is kind of dying. And he's an original. So we can't have that happen. I have like 21 original colonists. I call them my legacy characters. I also have a few original animals as well. Like Big Boy and Drooly and Xena and stuff. There's a few like Bubba, Panther and stuff as well in there as well. Trying to keep them alive until we get to the landed ship quest. I know here's a medical emergency. One of these have got medicine in it. I'm pretty sure it's the bottom one. Not up here. Let's see. Most of these have got steel and food because I was concerned that it wasn't going to update properly. And if it didn't update properly, we were going to lose a lot of resources. I will hydrate. Yeah, my throat's doing that thing again. I think it's just adapting to talking again. Because, like, for anybody that doesn't know, I didn't stream last week. I had, like, a week of, well, half a week of rigging. And then I had, like, a long weekend of holiday. So I'm what do you call it? I'm making a live 2D avatar. Alright. So, who we got here? Anybody I want to take. I'm not here to take people, I'm here for the bombardment beacon. But if there's anybody. Wait, is your name Burns? Oh, you are. I might take Burns. Your shooting is kind of good too, but you just can't do anything else. I don't have that much hunting in my base to do, unfortunately. I have plenty of shooters. I've got one turret here too. So where am I in relation to this? I'm over here. That's not too bad. I could fight him up this end, and I only just didn't check if somebody has a psychic shock lance, and I guess we don't have one. So Burns is going to be more of a suggestion. Where's my raids? Let me save this to raid. I'm also still actively updating, like this is 1.5. I'm saving them tonight into like this version. Alright, so I reckon we could probably sneak in from up here, but I reckon we could also just blatantly just stand on the edge there. So that's not going to get us. Like, we could stand next to that tree and be good. We could probably also take out that. Then, oh hello, somebody else walked out here. What have you got? No, I already checked you. Legend, maybe? There's nobody with a special name that I'm looking for here in this group. So the only one I kind of like the idea of is Burns because, you know, reminds me of Mr. Burns. But I've got Chalky, Mal, Lincoln, Senma. I got my absolute, like, top fucking shooters in this group, so this isn't going to be too hard. I didn't bring many people, though. I only really brought, like, 9. I don't even know how many people we're up against. Hold on. Maybe 11 plus a turret. Alright, hold on. Mal can get anybody from anywhere. I just got to make sure you guys aren't directly in front of each other. Can you just come stand down here, too, next to Salinus, not in front of? And the other Mal can stand up there. And Delicious is like 90% always down, unfortunately. So I kind of would rather you try to take out them. I don't know where you're quite going, but walking in front of the group, that's a whole option. Well, Burns is kind of hurt. Morrison's coming up. Delicious might actually have a punch up to do. Oh, who died? Chalky, mate. Yeah, right. Wait, why is the other Malbro not caught up? Hold on. Let me catch up. Just to check, I am slouching. I'm kind of like leaning kind of sideways, so thank you for that. I wasn't quite prawning, but I was definitely slouching. All right, hold on. I want to try to come out of the battle with least losses and most people, possibly. So it'd be good if they could all kind of sit behind the rocks, but some people were a lot faster than others, and I just got to make sure you guys keep together as a group. Because Malf, like, have you got a left? No, it's just lungs and heart. You know, he doesn't have anything wrong, like, mobility wise.